Most people ignore these 14 symptoms of psychological manipulation. Have you ever had the impression that someone was abusing you? Or from another person? Probably, you're not incorrect. It's a terrible fact of life that you will probably encounter a master manipulator at some point. They perform their psychological magic, both in their professional and personal lives, at home and at work. People that are manipulative frequently succeed in getting what they want, when they want. Furthermore, despite the fact that they are frequently seen as winners, they also cause psychological damage to people around them. If you've ever been tricked by a manipulator, you are aware of how painful it is to come to terms with your deception. It is crucial to identify the telltale indications of manipulation in order to avoid falling victim to someone who is manipulating you. Let's examine the psychological and emotional strategies these masterminds employ to obtain what they desire, at your expense. First, they take you into their territory. You are bringed into their domain by them. Power is, well, a thing of power. Expert manipulators are always aware of the power dynamics in any given circumstance, and they will take control if they can. Entering their space, whether it be their home or business, is one method of keeping that control. It could be a kind gesture if someone you don't know well asks you to come into their space. It might also be an attempt to silence you if you disagree with them. Be wary of dubious invitations, particularly if the sender attempts to exploit you in their residence. Second, they pay attention and dig. They listen, then delve in. If you've ever worked with or been around a salesperson, you are aware that there is a method to closing a deal. Prospecting is the first step, and manipulators take it as well. Claiming to be friendly, they will inquire in depth and broad queries. They are attempting to ascertain your thought processes, emotional responses, and areas of strength and weakness. Those that ask too many questions should be avoided. They may be hiding something. Number 3. They provide you with too much information. They pack you full of information. A further sales technique employed by manipulators is to inundate you with data. They try to convince you that they are an expert by flinging copious amounts of facts at you, frequently accompanied with muddled datasets or statistics. This tactic, known as intellectual bullying, frequently takes place during salary discussions at work. Arguments in social or personal contexts may also involve it. Knowledge confers status, and the manipulator gains more authority over you. There may be a final objective, but other times the manipulator just wants to feel good about themselves. Number 4. They distort the information. They false affiliations. Miscommunication does occur occasionally. Other times, someone will deliberately misrepresent you and act innocent, driving you insane in the process. The manipulator will frequently ignore it or try to make you feel guilty if you confront them about it. Steer clear of those who, when confronted, distort the truth to suit their interests. Number 5. They use red tape to block you. They use red tape to block you. The next tactic is an additional use of force. It is particularly prevalent in the workplace when a superior abuses their authority over a subordinate. To hold on to power, they will use red tape to thwart requests. They will keep erecting obstacles until the subordinate finally gives up and yields to the manipulator's authority. This power struggle has the potential to hurt not just a company or organization but also the people involved. 6. They make more noise. They talk more loudly. Though it is another power play, this strategy isn't very thought-provoking. Those who talk louder may mistakenly believe that their volume is greater than others. They think it makes them smarter or supports their position more strongly. It is not. Manipulators still do it, though. But their strategy is to frighten you. Additionally, they may chat non-stop, encouraging your surrender and giving you no room to speak without being interrupted. They may control a conversation by using their bold tone and strong body language to make their victims listen. Number 7. They break the bad news to you. They tell you harmless news. Bad news is another tool used by manipulators to unpleasantly surprise their target. As they analyze the information, this places the emotional manipulation victim at a psychological disadvantage. It may be something as simple as a low ball during a negotiation. Additionally, it could harm the other person. For example, if the manipulator suddenly concedes they are unable of doing something or didn't accomplish what they had promised to do. When a manipulator gives you bad news without warning, you won't recognize it coming. You could not be thinking properly while you're processing, in which case the manipulator will ask, or demand, something of you. Number 8. They issue demands on you. You get ultimatums from them. In essence, an ultimatum is a demand, sometimes with very little room for discretion. Tight timelines and take it or leave it demands are commonplace from manipulators. Even if you're not sure, it's just another sales ploy used by emotionally manipulative people to get your permission or obedience. The manipulator uses this act of tension to exert control over their selected victim, and their power play frequently succeeds. Nothing the manipulator does will reveal the truth to you before you've made up your mind, even if they are bluffing. Ultimatums do not allow for compromise, which is a necessary component of a happy relationship and something that manipulators detest. 9. They make light of you. They impognateu. Power is what manipulators thrive on, and they take advantage of your fears. Sometimes, dishonest people will offer unfair criticisms in an attempt to denigrate and inferiorize you. They will often turn it back on you, saying something like, "Can't you take a joke?" when confronted, even though they would have claimed it was humor or sarcasm. This mental torture could be centered on beauty, belongings, experiences, or knowledge, among other things. Your fears will be exposed by a skilled manipulator, who will then turn them against you. 10th. They openly judge you. They accurately judge you. Some manipulators blatantly disrespect the feelings of others by criticizing and passing judgment on them, while others use sarcasm to claim judgment. Without hesitation, a manipulative person will marginalize, mock, and discard you. They can continue to have control over you if they constantly pick on you. The aggressor typically gives the impression that there is a fundamental flaw in you. They will tell you that you are insufficient in every aspect, regardless of your efforts. A manipulator targets your sense of self-worth when they get you to feel inadequate. They can impose influence over you more easily as a result of this. If someone is treating you in this way, you can tell because they just point out your flaws without offering you helpful suggestions on how you could do better. Number 11. You're given the cold shoulder by them. You are given the cold shoulder. As a tactic of control, manipulators frequently withhold love, affection, or attention. They will purposefully disregard any correspondence you try to send them, be it by email, text, or phone calls. They keep you waiting and instill doubt and confusion in your mind in order to hold on to power. If you've ever been given the cold shoulder or the quiet treatment, you should be aware that this strategy leverages interaction. Number 12. They admit ignorance. They act dull. A master manipulator will act as though they are incapable of performing something they just plain dislike, much like a young child who hates doing chores. Tricksters will act naive, as though they are unable to comprehend your communication. This forces you to shoulder the burden while sparing them from having to complete a task or face something they don't want to. It's simple for deceptive people to avoid responsibilities and give you the short end of the stick. 13th. They act as the victim. They accept the party. When a manipulator is exposed for what they are, they become very hostile toward you. The manipulator will accuse you of being the victim even if you are the one who is being hurt by their self-centered behavior. It detracts from them and could give the impression that their actions are acceptable. Gaslighting is a method used by manipulators to make you feel crazy for confronting them or even for feeling or believing anything in the first place. They frequently exhibit intense defensiveness. When someone lies to you and assigns all the responsibility, don't trust them. Most of the time, everyone needs to take some accountability. Number 14. You consider them a friend only when it suits you. Only when it's convenient, they become your friends. While some friends are there for you no matter what, others are simply there when it suits them. It's likely that the person you know is manipulating you if they only get in touch with you or show you a nice side when they're in need of anything. Be wary of manipulators who attempt to integrate themselves into your life with the intention of using you, not of becoming your friend. Selfish people are manipulators. They don't genuinely care about you, and they'll always put their needs ahead of yours. It can be difficult to accept the fact that you are being manipulated by someone in your life. The more difficult part is having to learn how to react. A manipulator will usually have some control over you, regardless of whether you are in a relationship, family, or place of employment. It might be challenging to get out of these circumstances, even if you have the guts to defend yourself. The best defense against manipulators is to retain your distance, be aware of your rights and boundaries, and center discussions around them. Asking for assistance should be considered if, despite your best efforts to calm your emotional turbulence, you still find it difficult to maintain your emotional well-being. You are not alone in your suffering. Finding out how deeply the manipulator has wounded you and learning how to respond in a healthy way can be accomplished by speaking with a dependable friend, therapist, or counselor. Please give this video a thumbs up, like, comment, and share if you found it enjoyable. And tell your friends about it so we can continue to make them. Please click the subscribe button and don't forget to click the notification bell for more videos like this one. Don't forget to watch our other videos as well. Thank you for viewing.